let's see if I can do a quick video from outside. Something I haven't done in a really, really long time. I know I did a video before from this same location, but yeah, that was a while ago. And my last video was a while ago. Let's see, what do I have to update on? My head is so jumbled right now, I don't even know really what to say. Let's see, what was I talking about in the last video anyway? Oh, like the progress that I've made as far as anxiety is concerned. I was still doing like the Dr. Richard stuff, and I actually completed it. I read all of the worksheets, the whole thing. I got about halfway with the exercises I was supposed to do. I did like the cognitive stuff because it was supposed to, because it wanted you to work on, like, you know, your thoughts and changing negative thoughts into positive and all that. And I got pretty far in that, but when it came to like actually going out and doing things, like going out and joining up with doing more social activities, things like that, I kind of froze up. I started to do it, and then I would just kind of back out. There were certain things that I wanted to do, and you know, I just couldn't really go through with it. And so I kept going. I figured, hey, you know, I'll just continue with the program anyway, and just do whatever I can, and that's what I did. And I got all the way to the end and finished it, but then I just kind of fell out of it. And so I have to say it helped me, but not as much as I thought it would. I didn't put enough of the work in to really get far in it, and so I'm just kind of stuck back at square one. And honestly, it's pretty frustrating dealing with this day in and day out, because it really just it ends up making me feel like pretty depressed lately too. And I think it's definitely, over the years, it's had a toll on my body for sure. You know, like the anxiety. I mean, I don't know if you notice, I have like all this gray hair now. I have a lot of it. It's been coming up over the years. Like, especially if you look at my first video, you can see. If you look at my first video, you can see that it's starting to pop up. And then I started to diet for some years because I didn't like it, and now I just, well, ever since 2 years ago, I just kind of said, oh, whatever. I'll just, whatever. And the next 5 years, I'll probably be completely gray, which is fine with me. It probably makes me look a lot older, though. But, see what else has been going on. I got into an accident. This was like 3 months ago, in April. I haven't been in an accident since 2006. My first accident ever was back then. And what happened was, well, back then, I was on my way to work, and I had the green light, and as soon as I went through a green light, this guy T-boned me, and it made my car spin out. And like, of course I was super panicky about that, and I didn't really know exactly what to do. It was like, okay, you know, I guess I'm supposed to get out, and we exchange information. And as soon as I was about to do that, the guy, you know, he pulls over, and then he just pulls off and bolts. I don't know if I told this story before, but yeah, he just kept going. I went after him. I don't know what I was going to do. What I was going to do, like ram him, like in Grand Theft Auto? No. I just wanted to get his license plate at least, but he was just blowing through light after light. And after a while, I was just like, this isn't worth it. My tire is like going over to the side, and you know, I'm gonna have a wreck, and I'm gonna cause this guy to, you know, wreck some other car, maybe a car with a family in it, because I'm going after him. So it's like, after a while, it's not worth it. I never did. Yeah, I never did. Never found out who hit me. But anyway, recently, the newest accident back in April, this one happened, ironically, when I was going home from work. So the first accident happened on my way to work, and this one happened on my way back. And I was on the freeway. It was a lot scarier this time. I was on the freeway, going like 70 miles an hour. I needed some work done. Like, I needed like shocks, and I had bad shocks, and probably needed new brakes and other stuff done. I had a lot of work, but I wasn't getting around to it. I didn't really have I had the money, I just wasn't really getting around to it. And some guy in a truck decides to merge over onto me without looking. And you know, the stupid thing is, it's really stupid, but when it comes to anxiety, things are irrational. I have this problem with honking my horn. And I will move out of the way before I honk my horn at somebody. Or if I'm at a red light and somebody's in front of me and they don't go immediately, I feel apprehensive about honking my horn, because it's like, well, that's rude. You know, I don't want to be mean. It's like, it's really not mean. It's just another rule of the road. So I didn't honk my horn, and I figure, hey, you know, I'll just swerve out of the way real quick. This guy, I mean, it's just instinctively, I just decided to swerve out of the way. And I'm not even sure I really checked to see if there was a car on the left of me. There wasn't, thankfully. But when I did that, because of my bad shocks, probably, and the speed that I was going at, the car, did, you know, it ended up, you know, the law of physics and all that. The car swerved to the left, and then I started losing control because I'm going at such high speeds. And it just starts going, you know, I'm just kind of zigzagging all over the road, and I spin around, and I start going backwards, and I'm just like, what in the world? How am I going to get out of this? I'm just trying to keep from crashing, just hold it together somehow, and just do my best and not hit anybody. No, I was lucky there was nobody else really around me. You know, just that one car that almost hit me, that pretty much pushed me, or drove me off the road, basically. SUV, or whatever he was driving. And so, I'm trying to get control of the car, and somehow I must have knocked it into reverse, which is why I was going backwards on the freeway at 60, 70 miles per hour. And eventually I just, I put it back into drive. So I swerve it around, back around, and by the time I do that, I end up just crashing into the side, the median, the cement median, the divider. And I'm just sitting there like, holy crap, I was panicked, but not as panicked as I thought I would have been. I guess it all just seemed really unreal to me when it happened. But that guy that knocked me off the road, he didn't even stop. I don't know what it is with people in this city. A lot of them, they just hit your car or they cause an accident and they just keep going. They just don't care. Similar thing happened with my sister's car. Someone knocked her mirror off and they just kept going. But her car was parked. But anyway, this guy, no one else stopped to help me, which is, not surprising. I was alright. My car was surprisingly not very damaged. Like the back end got knocked over, the bumper got knocked over to the side. I have some body damage on that left side. No glass got shattered, no mirrors got knocked. The tire though, like the front left tire, did get jammed up into the car. Yeah, it was still good. The tire was good, but I couldn't drive it because what is it called? The tire rod or the control arm? Yeah, the control arm got really bent up, and every time I tried to drive it, it was, it was just screeching up against the, like that part of the wheel, that part where the tire sits in, that metal part. And lucky this guy, he managed to stop and asked if I needed any help and called the police. And the police came out. I had to talk to them. Still pretty freaked out and panicked. And so yeah, that happened. I ended up having to come out of pocket. I didn't report it to my insurance because I only have no-fault insurance, and surely that would have made my rates go up because I couldn't prove that somebody else, forced me off the road. Not only that, but the car never actually hit me, or the SUV rather. It never actually hit me, so I guess probably legally he's not at fault. Either way, it would have been a bad situation, even if, I bet if I would have honked my horn, this whole thing would have never happened. But, me and my stupid anxiety, and it's stupid. But I ended up having to pay over $500. I don't know how much money I had to pay. It was a lot of money I had to pay, mostly to fix that tire because that front tire was just all messed up. And like I said, I could still use the tire itself, but yeah, I needed a new control arm. I needed new hub bearings and all this other stuff that got messed up. The back needed to be straightened. The body work, there was nothing I could really do with that. I just left it as is. There's some scratches on it. It doesn't look too bad, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm just lucky I'm able to drive it again. And financially, I was already struggling, but I've been even more so struggling since then because I had to go into my savings and clean everything out even borrow money from my grandmother so I can pay for all that. It just sucks, you know. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks, but I'm really thankful that I didn't get hurt, and it could have been a lot worse. It really could have. But that person could have looked before merging, put his turn signal on. People can be really inconsiderate these days. Let's see what else has been going on. Not a whole lot has been going on with me. I'm still doing the same thing. Unfortunately, I'm still struggling, sometimes even worse. You know, sometimes to the point where I can't even look people in the eye. I can't talk to people. I'm afraid to even wave at people because I think, well, what if they don't wave back? You know, what if they don't say anything and I'll feel like crap? I know in the Dr. Richards program, which a lot of that I forgot, and now I'm listening to it again because it really was helpful, but you gotta stick with it, otherwise it just won't really do much to help. I know this Sunday, well, no, recently I joined up with like an anime and a manga club, and I've been thinking about, it just started, and the first meetup was last Saturday, and I couldn't go to that because I worked 2 shifts on Saturday, but at the same time, I was kind of glad that I had an excuse not to go. And this time, I don't really have an excuse because it's going to be on Sunday. And they meet up, it's just like a few people that meet up at a McDonald's. And I don't know what they do. I guess they just talk about anime. For now, it's at McDonald's. Eventually, it'll probably be someplace else. But I don't know, I might go to that. I'm still just thinking about it. I need to really try something different, and this is a way to be more social. So I guess we'll see what happens with that, if I do it or not. You know, these videos would be a lot shorter if I update it more regularly. I'm so bad at that. I'm so bad at it. It's so easy to fall out of and hard to get back into, but once I get back into it, it becomes easier. It's like with most things in my life. I equate it to jumping into a really cold pool. You know, it's super cold and uncomfortable at first, but you get accustomed to the water. But, let's see. Yeah, not really a whole lot else going on. I started getting outside. No, I'm lying. This is the first time I've been outside on a walk in a really long time. Not a really long time. The last walk, I started just taking walks about 2 weeks ago. But that was the last time I took a walk. And today I decided to just take a walk and I don't know, just come here and think about stuff and try to cheer up, you know, with things being so sucky lately. I'm still looking for work. I'm still definitely looking for work in my field, which I have been doing for the last who knows how many years. Still no luck with that, no callbacks. Although I did have an interview last November. It was a long, long time ago. I had an interview. Which I thought went well. I don't know if I talked about it in the last video. But they said it was some photography company, or what was it? It was a graphic design company I interviewed with. And they said they really liked my resume, and that's why they interviewed me. And it was like 2 people at once. And they were really impressed with my work, but they couldn't hire me because they were looking for like an IT sort of guy, somebody who knew how to build websites and code and all that stuff. I have basic knowledge of websites, which I'm sure is obsolete by now. And sometimes I think, maybe it would be good to just go back to school and take some classes in coding and that stuff, so I would be more marketable. But, I don't even know where I would get the money for that. So today, for the first time, I'm actually going to call up to the school and talk to somebody and see, just explain my situation and see what options I have at this point. I mean, I'm like 7 years out of school and I still have not. I have a degree, a bachelor's in illustration / graphic design, and I haven't done really anything with it. And it's like, well, what now? I mean, am I obsolete? Can I actually find work? I think a lot of, maybe part of the reason why I'm not finding work or getting callbacks is because I've been out of school for so long, and there really isn't a whole lot of jobs in Michigan. But I need to stop making that excuse. It is really bad here. It's gotten better with the employment situation, but I know another big part of it is my social anxiety that has been holding me back and keeping me in such terror that I can't talk to, I feel so uncomfortable talking to other people about it, getting out there, and then I feel unmotivated a lot, depressed, and hey, that doesn't help with finding a job. I end up not looking. A large part is not looking. It's just a bunch of things all at once. Not looking and being lazy, unmotivated. I have to figure out something, and soon. I don't want to be stuck in this place the rest of my life. Well, let's see, this has been another 20+ minute video. I seem to always do this. And I guess that's pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot else to say. Things aren't going too well for me, but I still have some hope. As long as I have some hope, things... As long as I have some hope, then that's something, but I need to have more than hope. I need to take action and somehow stop being so terrified all the time. There's probably some other stuff I wanted to say, but I'm blanking out. I don't really know what else to say at this point. So, at the exact 25-minute mark. I guess I'll say goodbye for now. And I'm not going to promise like regular updates. Every time I do that, I fail really bad. So I guess I just update whenever. It's not like it's hard. All I have to do is take out my phone and, you know, start recording. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you later. Thanks for watching my long video.